Have you ever considered what may occur if you had a heart attack while you were by yourself? Although it's a terrifying idea, it occurs more frequently than most people think. In actuality, hundreds of senior citizens in the US deal with this identical circumstance each year. Additionally, a lot of people fail because they are unsure of what to do within those initial few minutes. In actuality, your actions during that little period can determine whether you heal or suffer a disaster. I'm going to demonstrate to you today how to survive a heart attack on your own after the age of 60. These stages are easy to follow, useful, and made for individuals just like you. You don't need expensive equipment or medical training. All you have to do is know what to do and move fast. However, I would love to hear your thoughts before we start. From where are you viewing this video? Moreover, what time of day is it now? I truly look forward to hearing from you, so please leave a comment below. Please click the subscribe button if you like this video. If not, simply click like. Since this information could potentially save your life in the future, I would still be grateful. Identifying the early warning indicators. The way that Hollywood has shown heart attacks for decades, a dramatic gripping of the chest followed by a startling collapse, is how most people imagine them. In actuality, the first symptoms of a heart attack can be much more delicate than the movies ever portray, and many of them begin subtly, almost like a whisper. Understanding these subtler cues can mean the difference between older persons losing valuable time or receiving timely assistance, particularly if they live alone. It's crucial to pay attention to even the slightest change in your body's sensations because of this. A pressing feeling in the middle of the chest is one of the most typical early symptoms. It may feel more like a rock being placed on your chest, or like your ribs are gradually getting tighter around you rather than an acute pain. It's easy to ignore this feeling because it may come and go. But if it persists for more than a few minutes or continues coming back, you should never ignore it. Another indicator is pain, which frequently radiates outside the chest. Some persons experience pain that radiates across the shoulder and down the left arm, or even into the jaw and neck. Others experience a weird ache along the stomach that resembles indigestion, pressure in the upper back, or a stiffness that doesn't go away. Actually, for many women and older adults, the initial symptom may be heartburn, odd exhaustion, or an unidentified wave of nausea rather than chest discomfort. Another warning sign is shortness of breath, which can manifest without chest pain. Even if you're just sitting in your chair, you could feel as though you've climbed a high slope all of a sudden. These sensations are frequently accompanied by cold, sweating, lightheadedness, or dizziness, which makes you uncomfortable but not always sure what is wrong. And because it's easy to write these symptoms off as aging indigestion or a terrible day, that uncertainty is what makes them so deadly. Let me give you an example. When Richard, 74, noticed a stiffness beneath his collarbone, he was seated at his kitchen table. He initially believed it might have been heartburn or something he had eaten. His palms started to perspire, though, and he realized he was unable to breathe deeply. Rather than dismissing it, he recalled reading that not all heart attacks start with excruciating chest discomfort. His decision to take action might have saved his life. Richard's story serves as a reminder that the body frequently mutters before screaming. It's easy for seniors to ignore those voices because they may already be juggling health issues and everyday exhaustion. However, they are your body's method of requesting care before actual harm is done. Do not convince yourself it is nothing if you experience unexpected waves of exhaustion, unexplained shortness of breath, or chest tightness. The good news is that power comes from awareness. By identifying these early indicators, you can act promptly. Give your heart the best chance to heal by making a help call. You may take charge by paying close attention to your body and honoring even the smallest cues. Maintain your independence and carry on with your life as you see fit. Dial 911 right away. Many older persons have an inclination to minimize symptoms such as chest tightness, unexpected shortness of breath, or unexplained nausea. Some decide they can drive themselves to the hospital, while others immediately pick up the phone and call their kids for guidance or comfort. Both of these decisions are among the most risky ones you may make while you are in danger of having a heart attack, even if they can feel right at the time. Time is not on your side, and the damage to your heart muscle gets worse every minute you don't get therapy. For this reason, you should always call 911 first. The American emergency system is designed to react rapidly and deliver assistance right to your door. A qualified dispatcher will answer the phone and walk you through the process when you dial 911. They might inquire about your address, symptoms, and if you're by yourself. Their soothing voice will help you stay focused while you wait. And even if you can hardly speak, they can still send assistance based on the few words you are able to utter. There are many more advantages to calling for an ambulance than just a lift to the hospital. Emergency medical services have state-of-the-art equipment, life-saving drugs, and personnel who are trained to treat heart attacks immediately. They can stabilize you right away if your breathing gets worse or your heartbeat becomes erratic while you're traveling. Take Linda, who is 78 years old. She experienced waves of nausea and chilly sweats one afternoon after experiencing an odd aching that moved from her left shoulder into her chest. Initially, Linda wanted to call her son, but she recalled a nurse advising her, "If you think it's your heart, call 911 first and talk to your family later." Linda called 911 and paramedics were at her house in a matter of minutes. They stabilized her condition, started treating her right away, and transported her to the hospital without incident. Her prognosis might have been extremely different if that hasty choice hadn't been made, according to her doctor. Many elderly Americans are concerned about being a burden, fearing that if they call 911 and it turns out not to be serious, it would be a waste of resources or cause someone to become irritated. In actuality, though, this is precisely the function for which the system was created. Emergency personnel would always prefer to locate you safe than to pass up the opportunity to save your life. Do not hesitate the next time you experience unexpected weakness, inexplicable dyspnea, or odd chest pressure. Grab the phone, dial 911, and then leave the rest to the experts. That one small but impactful action could grant you the additional years of freedom, family get-togethers, and quiet mornings you still deserve. Taking aspirin correctly. The body's natural response to a heart attack is to create a blood clot, which prevents oxygen from reaching the heart muscle. Pain, injury, and occasionally unexpected death are caused by this clot. Additionally, the obstruction gets bigger every minute that goes by. For this reason, an aspirin tablet, something easy, affordable, and well-known, is among the most effective tools you may have on hand. For many years, medical professionals have been aware that aspirin thins the blood and can help prevent or reduce the progression of a clot. But how you handle it at that crucial moment is crucial. It may take too long for your body to absorb and utilize an aspirin if you consume it whole. Experts advise chewing a typical 325 mg tablet carefully before swallowing for this reason. Chewing allows the medication to reach your system more quickly, allowing your heart to continue pumping blood until medical assistance comes. This measure can save you valuable time and, in many situations, lessen the amount of irreversible damage to the heart muscle. But it won't stop a heart attack. There are crucial warnings to keep in mind. This step should not be used if you are aware that you are allergic to aspirin or if your doctor has specifically advised you to avoid it because of other blood thinners. It can save lives for everyone else, particularly for elderly people who are more susceptible to heart disease. Because a developing clot left untreated can be fatal in minutes, the benefit almost usually surpasses the slight danger when a real heart attack is occurring. I'd like to tell you a story that might seem familiar. One morning when Joe, 72, woke up, he felt as though someone was slamming a heavy book against his chest. He initially believed it might be indigestion, but as the sensation tightened and his breath became shorter, he began to suspect it. He recalled his doctor's discussion about aspirin and heart attacks at a community center. While waiting for paramedics, Joe shakily opened his kitchen drawer, took out a tablet, and chewed it slowly. His cardiologist later informed him that this small action probably lessened the harm to his heart and allowed the medical staff more time to provide him with proper treatment. Joe might have saved his life with the choice he made in that silent kitchen. The hardest part, for older individuals, is usually getting ready. You might not be able to get to aspirin when you need it most if it's concealed on a high shelf or tucked away in a bathroom cabinet. Because of this, it's beneficial to have a limited supply in areas you use frequently. A pill in your wallet or purse, a bottle in your nightstand, or a packet in the kitchen drawer can make a big difference. This modest habit brings peace of mind to American households where many elders live independently. It is a simple, inexpensive decision that has the potential to save lives. You offer yourself the opportunity to face a terrible moment with knowledge, confidence, and hope. If you prepare ahead of time and remember to chew rather than swallow, sitting, lying down, or being still. Many elderly folks experience a strong impulse to move around, clean the living room, do the dishes, or even go to the bedroom for comfort when a heart attack starts. However, during those vulnerable moments, every step you take and every pointless movement makes your heart work harder to pump oxygen, which it just cannot provide. Movement that once felt harmless can now tilt the balance, adding strain to an already struggling muscle and bringing your body closer to collapse. For this reason, one of the most crucial things you can do is to remain motionless. Locate the safest location in the area and move in right away. If at all possible, sit up straight in a comfortable chair with your arms at your sides, your feet flat on the floor, and your back supported. Your breathing can stabilize and the heart's workload is lessened in this position. The objective is to allow your heart to fight without being overworked, not just to provide comfort. Sometimes dizziness or a sense of faintness makes sitting upright difficult. If so, it may be safer to lie on your side with your head slightly up. This position lessens the chance of choking in the event of nausea and helps keep blood flowing to your brain. Lying down while you want to pace or find distraction may seem paradoxical, but in many situations, stillness is your ally, not your enemy. At the age of 81, Alice experienced this lesson firsthand. Her first reaction was to continue cleaning the kitchen when she felt a lot of pressure build up in her chest one afternoon. And then she recalled what her doctor had told her. "If I just get things in order, I'll feel better. Sit down right away and wait for assistance if you believe it to be your heart." Trembling, she slipped into her favorite recliner hands and remained there. Her cardiologist later clarified that she probably avoided full cardiac arrest by staying still during the episode. She gave herself time in that silent decision, and she needed time. Thus, keep in mind this basic fact. The most crucial thing to do during a suspected heart attack is to do nothing. Breathe deeply, sit or lie down, and let your body to concentrate on surviving. Avoid the temptation to push through discomfort or to roam around collecting possessions. Your bravery is determined by your ability to remain motionless until skilled hands come, not by how long you can stand. The good news is that this stage doesn't require any particular preparation, equipment, or money. Simply being willing to stop, believing that silence can rescue you, and understanding that by guarding your heart, you are regaining the discussions and memories you still treasure in the morning. Every second counts when it comes to opening the door for emergency personnel during a heart attack. However, a lot of senior citizens fail to notice something basic that can have a significant impact. Paramedics may only be delayed by a minute or two due to a locked front door, but in an emergency, those minutes could mean the difference between life and death. Although emergency personnel are prepared to break in if needed, forced entrance is inefficient, damaging, and may even endanger you if you are close to the point of entry. One of the silent but important things you can do to protect yourself is to prepare ahead of time and unlock the door when symptoms start. Consider how this would actually occur in real life. One morning, Paul, 76, was standing in his kitchen when he felt a crushing pressure in his chest. Reaching for the phone, he dialed 911 before recalling his doctor's warning regarding unlocked doors. Then he walked laboriously to the doorway, turned the deadbolt, and waited in his recliner. When paramedics arrived, they entered without hesitation, arrived to Paul in a matter of seconds, and started life-saving treatment right away. The emergency crew then informed him that they might have had enough time to stabilize his heart before it stopped in the 30 seconds that were saved by avoiding a forced admission. Many elderly people in America live alone in apartments, townhomes, or suburban homes that have buzzers, gates, or tight locks. Although security is crucial, it can also put emergency personnel at a disadvantage. Because of this, it is beneficial to consider choices before a crisis arises. Consider a smart lock that enables dependable family members or neighbors to remotely unlock your door if you feel at ease with technology. A basic lockbox with an extra key placed close to the front door can offer paramedics with immediate entry when 911 dispatch provides the code, if that seems too much to handle. Ask a reliable neighbor to keep an extra key if you don't like technology, and be sure they'll be quick to respond if necessary. Being perceived as weak or reliant is a concern for many senior citizens. Additionally, it may seem like an admission that something serious is going on if you unlock the door before sitting down. However, keep in mind that it is not a sign of weakness. It is an indication of readiness, discernment, and dignity. You are choosing to provide the people coming to save you the fastest possible path to reach you, and in the days and years to come, that one decision might keep you independent. Therefore, don't merely dial 911 and sit down the next time you get abrupt dizziness, inexplicable shortness of breath, or chest tightness. Take those few steps to your front door, unlock it, and then get back into a solid position if you are still able to move safely. And don't risk passing out en route if you can't. Always put your safety first. Even better, get ready now so you never have to make that decision by yourself. Making a plan in advance helps you feel more confident, less afraid, and reminded that you still have power over the actions that could save your life even in emergency situations. The lifeline of your smartphone. A smartphone is frequently seen by many older folks as a means of maintaining contact with friends, family, or children who live across the nation. That same gadget, however, can turn into your most potent lifeline in the event of a medical emergency. Reaching for your phone is the first thing that comes to mind when you experience shortness of breath, chest pain, or abrupt weakness. However, how you use it at those times might have a significant impact on your odds of surviving. As soon as you dial 911, the first and easiest thing to do is put your phone in speaker mode. When you are having trouble breathing, holding the phone close to your ear can exacerbate your anxiety and fatigue. Your hands stay free when you use a speakerphone. Breathing gets easier and your posture remains open. You can still be heard clearly by the dispatcher, who can listen for more hints in the background if your voice becomes softer. Your movements, the noises of your surroundings, or even your breathing patterns. Beyond the call itself, many seniors have never taken the time to set up the emergency information profile on Android or the medical ID on iPhone. Despite the fact that every modern smartphone has these features, you may keep important information like your allergies, prescriptions, medical conditions, and emergency contacts in these tools. Best of all, paramedics may obtain this information right from your lock screen, even if you are too weak to talk. When every second matters, just think of the impact this may have. Take the case of Susan, 79, who passed out in her living room after experiencing nausea and vertigo. She was unable to respond to inquiries by the time emergency personnel arrived. However, her age, history of diabetes, and a severe penicillin allergy were entered into her iPhone's medical ID. With that knowledge, paramedics were able to call her daughter in a matter of minutes, treat her safely, and steer clear of hazardous drugs. Susan's experience demonstrates how a few minutes of phone preparation can avert potentially fatal errors down the road. Saving emergency contacts under the heading ICE, which stands for In Case of Emergency, is another wise practice. It allows them to quickly alert loved ones while concentrating on your treatment, and many first responders are taught to look for this. Even if you are unable to speak for yourself, you can update someone you trust by listing your son, daughter, close friend, or trustworthy neighbor. These procedures could initially appear difficult to seniors who occasionally feel overpowered by technology. In actuality, however, it typically takes less than 5 minutes to set up your ICE contact or medical ID. Furthermore, once completed, it never needs to be done again. If you're not sure how to proceed, ask a family member, a grandchild, or even your chemist. The work is greatly outweighed by the peace of mind it offers. Make sure your phone is prepared to defend you rather than merely connect you the next time you charge it or go through family photos. Maintaining your composure and breathing control. With racing thoughts, shallow breathing, and a rapidly spiraling sensation of anxiety, the panic that follows a heart attack can feel as hazardous as the actual pain. Your body needs oxygen in those situations, but stress causes your heart to beat more quickly, requiring more oxygen than it can safely supply. The good news is that you can use a tool at any age that doesn't require any special equipment money, or breath training, a straightforward method can have a big impact. Feel your lungs gradually expand as you take a 4-second, leisurely breath through your nose. After holding for a little while, gently release the air via your mouth for 6 seconds, allowing it to leave your body in the form of a silent sigh. Observe the rhythm, the constant rise and fall of your chest, and the way that each breath appears to halt time itself as you repeat the cycle. Your heart starts to stabilize when you exhale more deeply because it tells your nervous system that the threat is not too great. This is not merely a relaxing activity, it serves as a physical defense. Breathing more slowly lowers the surge of stress chemicals like adrenaline that cause your heart to race uncontrollably. By soothing your nervous system, you minimize the risk of slipping into deadly arrhythmias, sudden irregular beats that can turn a scary event into a life-threatening collapse. Although breathing won't clear the obstruction, it will give you stability until help from a professional can get there. At 83, Frank had personal experience with this. One night, he felt a crushing weight on his chest and thought he would not make it until rescuers arrived. His heart was thumping in his ears as he felt a wave of fear. Then he recalled a breathing exercise his physician had shown him. He closed his eyes, took a slow breath through his nose, held it for a moment, and then gently exhaled through his pursed lips. He gained a bit more composure, control, and steadiness with each cycle, which allowed the emergency personnel to discover him still conscious. His cardiologist then clarified that he might have avoided cardiac arrest by maintaining his composure. Breathing was more than just a habit for Frank, it was a survival tactic. This method is more effective for older persons when used in daily situations rather than only during emergencies. Try it before bed or while watching the evening news if you're feeling nervous. Practice when waiting at a doctor's office or on your morning stroll if your thoughts won't stop racing. It will be simpler to return to the beat when pain and dread start to take over if your body is more accustomed to it. Therefore, keep in mind that although medication and emergency treatment are necessary, your breath is still a silent force that you always carry with you. When everything seems out of control, you can take a moment to collect yourself, center your heart, and remind yourself that you are not powerless. By training now, you give yourself the best chance of surviving and recovering by preparing your body and mind to face fear with focus. Getting ready before an emergency occurs. Being ready for a crisis before it happens is the best approach to handle it. Because lucidity rapidly deteriorates during a heart attack, you won't waste time looking when seconds count if you keep a bottle of aspirin in convenient locations like your wallet, kitchen drawer, or nightstand. Putting your medical information on your phone, practicing a relaxing breathing technique, and practicing how to call 911 may seem pointless right now, but when terror takes control, those routines can save your life. A tiny medical go-pack can make a big difference for elderly people who live alone. A list of your prescriptions, copies of critical medical data, an extra pair of glasses, and a tiny torch should all be kept within. Small gestures like this provide comfort to the emergency personnel who come to assist, as well as to you. In many American houses, it's also usual to tape a list of family phone numbers and your doctor's contact information on the refrigerator. When you are unable to speak, paramedics know to check there, and that one step can speed up communication. In reality, preparation is a gift you make to yourself and your loved ones, a pledge that you are prepared, stable, and committed to staying safe. It may feel like anxiety. Together, we have taken 7 easy yet effective measures. Be aware of the warning indicators. Make a quick 911 call, chew an aspirin, remain still, open the door. Breathe steadily and make sensible use of your phone. On its own, each action could appear insignificant. Together, however, they create a survival chain that is more resilient than chance. Chance is less important than preparation and composed decision-making. Additionally, this could mean the difference between losing valuable time and earning valuable years. Even if you are by yourself when the pain starts, keep in mind that you are not helpless. You offer yourself the opportunity to fight and your loved ones the gift of your ongoing presence in their life when you know what to do. What saves you now can save someone else tomorrow. Thus, sharing this information might be as essential. Thus, I would like to hear from you. Have you ever had a medical emergency that made you realize how fleeting these moments might be? Leave a comment below with your tale. If this video was helpful to you, please subscribe to receive future updates and recommend it to a friend or family member. By working together, we can create a community that is ready, encouraging, and never alone in the struggle for independence and good health.